Hi, Michelle Mendez here. Just wanted to demonstrate that all the repairs have been completed on this particular piece. All the tears and cuts have been healed up nicely and it's been varnished, and I'm just letting it dry out for a few days. And today we're going to tackle something a little bit more complicated. So I'm getting a little bit freer about tearing and repairing, and so I'm trying out some different strokes and things. I've got this surface pretty well supported, and I have my Liquitex gel at 100%, and I'm just going to apply it to repair a lot of these bubbles, which for some strange reason the paper just didn't glue. I don't really know why, because I did apply glue, but maybe I applied it too wet, or I was learning the technique at the time and I wasn't exactly certain what I was doing. So I just decided to use my brayer to bond everything, and the brayer's going to get covered with gel medium, and I think that's okay because it's going to be an all-over cover, so I don't think it's going to hurt anything. And what I'm going to do first is just apply gel medium to all the surfaces, the underside, the support, which is canvas coated with acrylic. This is a graph paper that, yes, graph paper is not archival, but when it's coated with an acrylic gel and then varnish, it becomes basically encased in a plastic that probably will never deteriorate. So accidents happen, mistakes happen, and part of the process is figuring out ways to either fix them or you can abandon a painting. So if we go back in time and look at the work of Leonardo da Vinci, brilliant. He tried all kinds of wonderful techniques that artists coveted, admired, wanted to be able to reproduce. He created a series of many layered glazes for his portraits and paintings. And he also made some mistakes, and one of the classic mistakes Leonardo da Vinci made was on his Last Supper mural, which is falling apart now. It may have been that he had mixed pigments and oils that were just simply not going to stand the test of time on a wall, which was a fresco. So he broke habit with some of the time-tested techniques to try something new. There's a contemporary American artist named Mark Tobey who often tears and cuts his work, and this is not new, but what he does that's new is he uses a hand sander to literally scuff up and destroy his surfaces to relate the layers underneath, which are incredibly beautiful, poignant, and painful in his art, which is fascinating. So I think that it's okay to allow yourself the freedom to make mistakes and try to fix them if you can. And yeah, sometimes the answer doesn't come right away, and you just wait until it does. Move on to something else. Oh, I don't know if that goes there. I thought it did. It looks a little funny, doesn't it? Because that doesn't quite match up. Interesting. Well, you know what we'll say. So another artist who also did a lot of experimenting was Albert Pinkham Ryder, a great American artist who worked with all kinds of strange materials that people had never tried before in painting, and one of them was tar, the same surface that you'll see applied on roads. And that's probably not that unusual either today, but a lot of his paintings were literally oozing or dripping off the canvas. And he was reluctant to, if not absolutely refusing to, part with any work that he didn't feel was finished, which really bothered and pissed off clients because they wanted his work and they couldn't have it because he wasn't ready to let it go. Also, his works might change within a piece that somebody already committed to, and it's not the same, but in his mind it was better. So I think that the willingness to go back into a piece, the willingness to try new things and make mistakes is a very important part of the process. in art making, and it can lead you down different roads that you never would have anticipated. In art, they often talk about a dialogue between a painting or an work of art and the artist. And that dialogue is very important when you look back at a piece and you'll stand away from it and reflect on it. It can often give you insight, answers, and help you move on to the next part of your work. And so these bumps bubbles were not part of my original idea. And I was very disappointed when it happened because it wasn't what I had planned on. But over time, ideas came to me to be able to repair them. So I think it's an interesting part of the process now, and I'm okay with it. I mean, I don't think I'll continue making these, errors now that I've done this, but I think that, having made the mistakes, I can learn from them, and I can have that choice or option. If there's some, we need some back in there. I can have the option. Oh, all right, it's not gonna. I can have those choices now. All right, so I see another bubble right here that I didn't see before. I'm just gonna get them all today. Why not, right? I mean, why not? So see, it's interesting how some areas stuck and some areas did not. And I really couldn't tell you what had happened, why this happened, but it did, so, Okay. And sometimes you might need to do 2 coats, come back later and add another coat if it's not willing to stick, and that's part of the process too. So, I'm okay with that. And I think that it adds an interesting story. So, by the way, at the New Bedford Whaling Museum, there's a phenomenal exhibit right now of Albert Pinkham-Ryder's paintings. So you can go check it out and see for yourself. And I'll keep moving along on this and let you see the finished piece when it's all done.